and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Wow. Might start using that as intro music, BBD. Good morning, Bakers, and welcome to Wake and Jake in the morning, Wake and Jake at night, coming live from South Kakalaki. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Swing around your head like a helicopter. Do you know that song, Big Baby?
Just from when you've referenced it before.
Okay. That used to be if the middle school dance was going off, that song was on. Maybe we'll save that for the outro. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. Down outside of Charlotte for Thanksgiving. Sports, BBD. It was a great sports weekend again. The NFL, you and I were on this. The primetime games were kind of choice this week, and they were good, and I think we're actually going to start there with the game of the night. NBA free agency is going. Our Knicks look like the best team in the NBA.
They had the most revolutionary change of any team, right?
No, that's not true. But let's do the football, BBD, and let's do the game of the night. And the game of the night last night, just like how the NFL wants it to be, Sunday night football. Collinsworth on the call, man. I can watch Mahomes. It's just kind of morphing my Gruden voice with another voice. The Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, they beat this Chiefs team. They gave them their only loss this year. And there's some fun storylines here. I mean, Gruden and Andy Reid go way back on the way back. Again, the Raiders beat them. And the Raiders get it going early. A lot of my buddies betting the Chiefs revenge game. They're going to flex on them. Not so fast, my friend. Josh Jacobs, he's a stud, man. Puts Las Vegas up 7-0. Tyreek Hill, God, how do you guard that guy? Bad guy. Tough to guard. Nelson Aguilar, how about the Eagles legend? He's lighting it up for Vegas. He scores to end the first quarter. It's 14-7. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a man so nice they named him thrice, 14-14. But Carlson puts the Raiders are up 17-14 at the half. Edwards-Helaire again. And then BBD, another sneaky fun part of this matchup. There's an argument for the two top tight ends in the league. You know Travis Kelce. Darren Waller with the touchdown pass. He was abusing Honey Badger. I've just never seen Honey Badger look like that. He gets the pass from Derek Carr. Le'Veon Bell scores a touchdown run. That made me sad. Kind of crushed one of my fantasy teams. Cool story, bro. And then speaking of former top tight ends, Jason Witten, after the bad penalty, he scores the touchdown to put Las Vegas up 31-28 with 1:43. But in this NFL and Patrick Mahomes, it was more than enough time. 28 seconds to spare, and he hits the other tight end. It's Kelce, 22 yards from Mahomes. He's wide open. Plain Pat, what up? Makes it look so easy. The Chiefs win 35-31 in Las Vegas. Carr looked pretty good. He throws for 275 and 3 tutties. Mahomes a cash, 348, 2 touchdown passes himself. A fun game, back and forth throughout. And, good for Las Vegas. I think they're showing that they can kind of dance with the big dogs a little bit. Everyone thought, revenge game, Kansas City. They learned their lesson. No, Vegas stood with them, and they had them beat, except you can't ever have them beat, and that's what we've been saying on Wake and Jake since the football season really started. So a good Sunday night football game. I was watching it in the basement behind me. Everyone had a couple drinks, went to bed, and was sick of talking to me. So that was a good game. Buggy, you didn't watch much of this game. You're recovering, talking Knicks you were recording last night?
Doing talking Knicks during the game, so it was like I put it on the TV so I could see it, but nothing was computing. I wasn't making conclusions or anything. I just had it on in front of me.
Sure,
and I was watching Red Zone all day, so I was kind of footballed out. Brother's home for the weekend, so we were just like talking, doing the whole football thing just all day.
Talking to your brother.
Yeah,
Ugh.
loser stuff.
Damn, sorry about that. Yeah, and I guess the counter to this being the game of the night would be the whole game you were expecting the Chiefs to do this, and then they did, but still, with a minute left to go, Mahomes, the star of stars in this league, he's unbelievable. Saw people firing off. He's going to be remembered as the best ever. And this is kind of dumb because football stats are changing a lot. But yes, like his stats, I think, are going to blow everyone out as long as he doesn't have debilitating injuries.
Yeah. And he's already got the one Super Bowl he absolutely needed. So
yeah.
Get it.
It's kind
get
of
another one at some point. Just keep running up the stats. And
Matt Stafford has great NFL all-time stats. So do that times Mahomes because of where the league is at. I don't know. Good. If you want to die on that hill, go die on that hill. It might not be that crazy at all.
He's certainly on as good a start for that conversation as he can be because is he still only 24?
Better than us.
Yeah.
Ooh, how old is Patrick Mahomes?
I think he might have just turned 25. I feel like he's a November birthday.
Okay, so kind of washed up Patrick Mahomes?
Kinda. He's September 17th he turned 25, so he's been 25 for a month. He's running out of time.
And he owns part of the Royals. Not a bad life.
Jake, owning a baseball team is not a good investment. They're not
that's
profitable.
True. That's smart. That's smart. You don't want to lose money. Let's do the rest of the foosball buggy bug, dude. I wasn't as dialed in. Just open the chat. What's going on live in the chat? How's everybody doing? Let's just run through it. BBD. I'll be quick. I was driving. Hell, let's go back to Thursday night when I wasn't driving. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Thought that game would be a little bit more of a shootout. 28-21. Still a good game. Let Russ cook. The Jets, oh my God. They just continue to lose. Herbert in the Chargers, he continues to look good, and he gets the win because he's playing against the Jets. He is putting up unreal numbers for a rookie. And I guess tie that into what I just said about Mahomes. 10 years ago, we would be saying that Justin Herbert is the future of the NFL. Anyways, in the Ugly Bowl, how about the Browns? 22, Eagles 17. The Eagles stink. The Browns go to 7-3. What? How is that possible? They've got a good backfield, best backfield in the league. Myles Garrett tweeted that out after the game. Speaking of a backfield player, Saints 24, Falcons 9. No Drew Brees, no famous Jameis Winston. It's Taysom Hill, and he just does Taysom Hill stuff. He completed a ton of passes. He had 2 rushing TDs. Sean Payton's Roddy White retweet. What's that? Bug. I'm not familiar.
Oh, let me pull up the exact phrasing of the Roddy White tweet.
Okay,
when
we'll circle
it was
back.
before the game, Roddy White tweeted.
Rowdy Roddy White.
Oh yeah.
UAB.
Ooh, did he delete it?
No.
Might have been a few days before. It'd be easier if I go to Sean Payton's Twitter.
Okay.
But he tweeted something about Taysom Hill and whatever. Oh yeah. On the 21st, so on Saturday, Roddy White tweeted, Saints about to get whipped trying us with Taysom Hill at quarterback. We about to snack them. And right after the game, Sean Payton retweeted that tweet. It's just
That's great.
Good stuff.
That's great. That's how the internet should be used. Good job, Sean Payton, he is one of the best NFL material. Give me Taysom Hill. Let's see what I can do with it. 24-29 Saints. Washington, the football team. Alex Smith gets a win over the Bengals, and unfortunately, that's not really the headline. Joe Burrow tears his ACL, the number 1 pick. Sad. And he tweeted after the game he'll be back. So again, use Twitter, people. It's fun. Speaking of not fun, but an interesting result, the Panthers 20-0 over the Lions. PJ Walker, your XFL MVP, has a pretty nice game. 258, a touchdown. Panthers win 20-0. Shut out the Lions. That felt like the official Matt Patricia will be fired game. The Steelers, the Steel Curtain, go to 10-0. They win 27-3 over the Jags. Yawn. BBD, we're starting to get into the fun games. We recognize the Titans and the Ravens. Send a Raven. They go to overtime, and the Titans and Derrick Henry, he runs it in overtime to get the win. Harbaugh starting fight at midfield. The Ravens, I think they're currently out of the playoff picture. Holy smokes, how quick has the script flipped on them? Patriots, they lose to the Texans 27-20. Will Fuller didn't score a touchdown. That's kind of all I care about that game. Pats are 4-6, BBD. Is that record right?
Believe so.
Okay. I don't know if I'm impressed by that or sad by that or how I feel about that. But I'll tell you how I feel about this. My Denver Broncos. Eat a bug, Tua Tagovailoa. The Broncos win 20-13. What a shootout. Drew Lock, don't think he had a touchdown pass. Melvin Gordon with 2 running scores. Let's go, Horsies. Ruin that draft pick. Then, these games kept getting better. How about the Packers and the Colts? They go to OT. Rodgers and the Packers, man, they feel enigmatic. I'm sure you'll hear that on NFL Network sometime in the next week. They lose to the Colts in overtime. Colts, they're kind of good, ? Phillip Rivers settling in a little bit. 34-31 in OT. The Cowgirls, hey, come on. Sorry, Keith. The Cowboys, they get the dub to improve to 3-7, a.k.a. second place in the NFC East over the Vikings. The late touchdown pass to Dalton Schultz. Dalton to win that one, BBD. That's fun. And then the Sunday night game, we did that, Chiefs, Raiders. And that's kind of the football slate. So, I'll kick it to you, BBD. I'm trying to see what jumps out. That Titans-Ravens was supposed to be kind of a bang-up good game. It was. Eagles-Browns, we also kind of had circled as an ugly bowl, and holy smokes, did it live up to it. So what else is out there?
The Derrick Henry walk-off was cool. Just handing him that L, cut right up there. And he's so good. Joe Burrow, we glossed over it, but yeah, for the year, that's kind of sad. They were the best team in the world with him, and now they don't have him. So Bengals are sad.
Did you see the Wentz pick 6?
I saw a lot of Wentz bad.
He did a tailback, just like toss pass, and he threw it right to a linebacker. And it was, for me, Eagles fans, reach out and maybe leave your comments. We'll get to the comment of the day later. I think it's over.
He's really bad now.
If you're an Eagles fan, I feel like it's had to come close to unwatchable. It's almost worth Googling wherever you are today, Wentz's pick 6. Because, if your quarterback does that, it's almost an instant, we're done.
So we're done?
So that really stood out. The Steelers, I saw this going around the internet. The quietest 10-0 season I think we've seen. Here's the interception. We're showing it up.
Oh, this play. Yep.
Dude, that's that looks like
Taki. Just a great name.
Your little brothers had a group of friends together when they were 12 years old to play pickup football in the yard, and then you get to play one play on defense, and it's just I'll take the ball and score. Like, you can't. That's almost not. That's not NFL football. Eagles
not
fans, let
okay.
me know. Let me know. Do they want Jalen Hurts? I think he came in for a little bit.
There's the other bad pick six. You see that Flacco one?
Yeah.
Obviously, like the whole Jets thing is being bad, but like Flacco has like won a Super Bowl. Like it was just like, what were you thinking? That one was a weird one. That's enough talking about the Jets. But
yeah, I mean, they are winless. One of the headlines today was Frank Gore will not go out on a winless season. They're 0-10. Is Adam Gase still employed?
He's still there.
Why?
I think at this point they want to lose, and like if they get a new coach and it like gives life to the team and they show any improvement, then they just like lose Trevor Lawrence. And I think because they've played their final strength of schedule number is going to be so bad. I think they like they're not going to have any of the tiebreakers, so they like actually can't afford to win a game if they want Trevor Lawrence. So there's like kind of no reason to win a game, or at least that's what was told to me. So,
I mean, it's insane that man has a job. It's good for Herbert.
Really
another
bad.
Huge game. We mentioned him. Rodgers and the Packers, the Colts. They're both 7-3. Very different paths to get to 7-3. It feels like. And I think there was one other. Ravens are 6-4. Dude, Sean Payton and the Saints. They are 8-2. He played Taysom Hill at quarterback for a full game, which people in NFL circles definitely had bets he would never do that, and he did. And they just steamrolled the Falcons. So that's kind of the NFL slate.
Awesome.
BBD.
Dario Saric, 3 years, $27 million, staying in Phoenix. Get the bag, Dario.
The franchise, Super Dario. And hey, what a segue.
Oh, yeah.
Producer, BBD. We'll circle up. When we last talked to you guys, NBA free agency was kicking off. What are like the biggest things? Gordon Hayward to my Charlotte Hornets. I'm down here. I think that's the biggest headline
That's
so far,
the
right?
biggest single move. Let me see if I can pull up like an off-season tracker.
Yeah, I've got one here. It's if you go to CBS Sports.
Yeah, they usually have good tracker stuff.
Gordon Hayward. Oh my God, he's leaving the frickin' Celtics. 4 years, 120 to go to the Hornets. I had a Hornets fan tweet at me, Flex, and they were like, "How should I feel right now?" Because this isn't a good contract, and we saw everybody coming out with the hot takes. Russillo, my guy who I love, said this is the worst contract ever. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, let's see what Gordon Hayward does for 2 years. Like, if Gordon Hayward could be Gordon Hayward B- Gordon Hayward for 2 years, I'm not saying the contract's worth it, but it might be worth it if you're the Hornets. Like, there's some contracts.
And with the way the NBA works, like, if he's anywhere close to who he can be, you'll take a little bit of an overpay to just have him on your team. And maybe those back couple years, if everyone else develops a little bit, that's a good contract to be able to flip in 2 years.
Charlotte likes their head coach a lot. He's a guy from the Spurs system. And again, they kind of overachieved last year. They've got a lot of young guys. So, hey, they add Gordon Hayward. Didn't they add someone else? Am I blanking?
Sounds right. Of course, this thing's,
Spin.
it comes up as you scroll.
Spin mode.
I don't think anybody like major.
Yeah, but I think you're excited. You've got young players. You've got a respected coach, and you add Gordon Hayward, which kind of what we're saying there, BBD, is if he can be okay for 2 years or decent, which he bounced back decently last year. He was on the Celtics. He had pretty good numbers. I want to say it's like 17.5 points per game, something like that. On the Hornets, I'd almost expect that number to go up. Like, he's going to get used more.
He was like the fourth option with
and he was still recovering in the injuries. I get it, and it was kind of freaky, but if they could get 2 years of Gordon Hayward And then he essentially becomes one of those contracts that you're looking to trade. And if you can make the Hornets a better franchise and the young guys can get better with Gordon Hayward, I get it. Still doesn't seem like a great contract.
If the LaMelo pick hits, it's a good piece to have there. And then in
LaMelo,
2 years.
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
There's a lot of pressure on the LaMelo pick hitting, and he's one of the guys that seems like the least of a guarantee, but the whole draft is that, I don't know.
Yeah, and he might have the highest ceiling. Like I think if his name wasn't LaMelo Ball and he wasn't linked, that sounds kind of dark. I was going to say if he wasn't linked to his family. That's not entirely true. I think he was high risk, high reward. So if he pays off, like a Charlotte fan, you should be excited right now. Don't worry about that contract yet. Maybe in 2 years, then you should be like, that did kind of suck. But right now, enjoy it. Have some fun. Van Vliet was a big free agent. He's staying in Toronto. I'm trying to think.
Other one
got Gallinari to the Hawks, if that does something for you.
The Hawks stuff is the other one that's like, I'm not fully sure what they're doing because they get him, they get Rondo. I mean, they're going for it. They have Trae Young and John Collins there. I'm not sure how Gallinari's, like, what his role is at that salary point, because you're paying him to, like, be a starter, but he should be playing the 4, but they have John Collins. Okongwu's probably going to be the center. I'm trying to think if they have some. Capella's there, so Okongwu's the backup center. I mean, it's hard to see what the lineup fit is, but he's a good player and a good vet to have there. So personality-wise, I get it.
They brought in talent, which there's times if you looked at the Hawks roster with Trae Young.
They gave Bogdanovich the offer sheet. I think it.
Yeah.
I mean, are the Kings going to bring him back? I actually have no idea what's happening there.
I don't know. I think there's like a 3 days to match rule yet, and
so I assume we're 2 nights
yet.
away from that. I don't know if he officially signed it or whatever.
So I don't know, man. I just think if you're a Hawks fan, that probably starts getting fun because, you could go Trae Young. If Bogdanovich signs, Trae Young, Bogdo, Danilo, John Collins, and then you either go Rondo or you could go, stay big with the draft pick. So they're having fun, and then the Suns are doing good things. Meanwhile, the Lakers, dude. I was talking to Kyle in the office about this, and he asked who was the lefty that re-signed with the Braves or signed with the Braves? What's his name from the Tigers?
Drew Smiley.
He said that Drew Smiley signing was a more significant championship move than Chris Paul to the Suns, and technically, because it's not like the Suns are going to win a title, and the Braves probably have a chance. And, dude, the Lakers, they bring in Montrezl Harrell. They bring in Dennis Schroeder.
Bring in Marc Gasol.
If you're an NBA person who's, titles and all of that, who's going to stop LeBron and the Lakers? It's the Nets if they figure it out.
Yeah, and the Nets have the talent to figure it out. They also have the personalities for that talent to not matter. But if you're a Nets fan, you're excited, and there's no reason to not believe in them. But they do have it's a vibrant locker room, and if they had James Harden, which I think has calmed down, but it's on the table. Lakers getting Marc Gasol, it's underrated because he's past his prime. But as far as just like the on-court fit, it kind of makes sense. Stretch the floor a bit. You wonder a little bit what they're going to do because did they lead the league in blocks by having Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, and they moved both of them. Dwight Howard leaves in free agency, goes to the Sixers. That was a whole thing because he tweeted he was going back to the Lakers. So it's like I think he just heard them say like, "Oh, this is a deal we could do," and thought that was an offer, and he was excited about it. Goes to the Sixers. They dump JaVale McGee to make room for Marc Gasol, and the Raptors replace him with Aaron Baines, who might be a better fit for them.
Baines can shoot.
He was one of the best backup bigs in the league, just the role he signed for.
John Conchar, 4 years, $9 million to the Grizzlies. So that's kind of that's the walk away. That's what you need to know.
The important one.
NBA's grooving and shaking. There should still be a few more moves.
Christian Wood to the Rockets, which I guess if they're keeping Harden and Westbrook that's exciting. If not, whatever. But
he'll either be good or torn apart really quick.
Serge Ibaka to the Clippers.
Yeah, I guess the Clippers
Trying to find
can
another
start figuring it
standout
out
one we
again.
can talk about.
NBA's moving and shaking.
Yeah.
We'll probably have more
Portland's
updates to
doing
come
some
on that.
stuff. They kind of don't have a hole in the roster. They don't really have a very high ceiling with their roster, but
And dude, NBA season's gonna sneak up, man. We're almost a month away.
yeah, a month from yesterday is the first day, I believe. I don't think they've put out like an official schedule yet. Probably sometime in the next week or so we'll get that before training
I
camp.
kind of lost your audio, BBD, so I'm just watching your lips.
Well, I don't think we've
Beautiful.
gotten an official schedule yet. Season starts a month from yesterday, I assume, before training camp. You still
Still
don't
not
have me?
sure what you're saying. Maybe type something in the notes. I think
It
I'm
doesn't
gonna keep it
matter.
moving. I will go on to the comment of the day. The comment of the day. We do this in every Wake and Jake. I ask you guys, the Wake and Jake bakers, the bake crew, to bake the algorithm. Rising tides raise all ships. I say that a lot, and I don't fully get it. I shouldn't be saying it that much. I'd say it an odd amount. BBD, I found a couple good comments of the day, comments I like a lot. The first one, and again, this is have a sports conversation with us. Movement Training posted, I can't believe he did it twice. Such an iconic player. SMH, Hall of Fame ticket gone. And I forgot, last episode we were talking Robbie Cano, and that seems weeks ago. And I think the reason I really like that comment was the word iconic, man. And we did this, David, and I said it's a little bit more towards your generation. I mean, if you were growing up in the Northeast, Cano was one of the wiffle ball swings you did. He's known as the sweetest thing in baseball for years. And even if we go back and show tape in years, that swing is going to talk. It's not Griffey. It's not the best swing ever, but it's just when Cano connected with the ball, it was that's awesome.
He's just the coolest dude. And especially if he's on your team, he's your favorite guy to watch.
I wish I could do that, and I still can't hear you, BBD. So I'm just going to piece it together as we go, and I still think you're beautiful. I think you're beyond it, if I'm being honest. And the other comment of the day, which, again, I think this is something that could come up every episode, but Sean Muldoon commented, I don't like Jake's face, but this is some internal thing I need to work on. It may just be the Boston in me or the theme song. I'll work on myself. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that you commented. It's what you're feeling. I don't think there's anything I can do. I'll try. I think my hair looks a little worse today than normal. Actually, I don't think it's worse than normal. It's just a tight shot.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming from the Charlotte branch today. So thank you for leaving your comments.
Everyone's in the right for that one. It's all good.
Yes, I agree with you, BBD. Again, still, the audio is probably not coming back. And BBD, while we keep it going, so you guys, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a review. I appreciate you guys. Oh, BBD, I don't know if you said this. We got a perfect game going right now. On the road. 58-0 on the like button on the YouTube. So keep baking the algorithm, guys. Wherever you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, hit the like button. Leave a comment. You guys are the best. You guys really are the best. Love doing this. Love talking sports with you guys. Jake, talk the Mets. I will not. Not today. Not until they make a signing. BBD, baseball does need to make a move soon. We're ready for it. We need a signing to happen. So hopefully that's coming this week. We think we are going to do a follow-up Wake and Jake Wednesday morning. So stay tuned for that. But BBD, until then, let's get into the Bro of the Night. And before we talk about the Bro of the Night, baseball lifestyle don't make it. That's Rockstar Lifestyle. Baseball lifestyle, they're our friends. We told you guys about them last week. Baseball Lifestyle 101. They're the fastest growing brand in baseball. They're our friends, the Joshes. Told you guys we met them. They're awesome. Was wearing the Ghost windbreaker all last week. It is now a staple of my wardrobe. I wore it while I was driving yesterday. They have that, the Buzz the Tower hat. Go check them out, bl101.com. And guess what, BBD? We got a promo code. Jomboy, Jomboy for 20% off pre-Black Friday sale for exclusively for the Jomboy Media listeners. Okay. And listen, if you know anyone that's a baseball person, if you got someone who's still playing baseball, they've got a ton of they run the baseball 18 under community. It's kind of incredible. I mean, they've got jewelry, they've got shirts, they've got everything. Promo code Jomboy, 20% off, bl101.com. And this is before Black Friday. So this runs through Wednesday night. Baseball Lifestyle. It's more than a game. It's a lifestyle. So they're awesome. Go check that out. BBD, this brings us to our bro of the night. I will go, and then you will go, and I'll watch your mouth and your rhythms because I still can't hear you, but I think you're a beautiful man. BBD. And so the first part of this was supposed to be, and you could give me a head nod yes or a head nod no. Do you know who Kevin Stefanski is?
I gave a Google. I'm assuming the audience can hear me because they haven't said anything.
I knew the name. You know, he's a football guy. He's been around the NFL for a while. Kevin Stefanski is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. He came over from Minnesota. I went on his Wikipedia earlier today. Really interesting. He went from an assistant director of football operations at Penn. I mean, Ivy League, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And then he worked his way up the Vikings chain. Assistant to the head coach, not even a real job. Assistant quarterbacks coach, not even a real job. Tight ends coach, real job. Running backs coach, real job. Quarterbacks coach, real job. Vikings interim offensive coordinator, sure. Vikings offensive coordinator. He gets the Browns head coaching job this year, BBD. The Browns are 7-3. The Cleveland Browns. This doesn't happen. This does not happen. And Kevin Stefanski is leading the way. And think about all of the other stuff that ties into this. Baker Mayfield hasn't been playing great this year. They have a great backfield. Kareem Hunt's been killing it. He had an awesome highlight last night. The Cleveland Browns are 7-3. They have a better record than the Ravens right now. The Steelers are undefeated. So their conference is still pretty good. Their division is still pretty good. And going back even further, when all of this COVID stuff happened and we talked about less practice and what teams were going to be good, we basically said, you know, the teams that are running it back with their same guys, you know, coaches that have control of their organization, the same playbook, all of that stuff. The Browns don't have that. They have a new head coach. His first time being a head coach in this weird COVID year with the Cleveland Browns. And they're 7-3. So I wanted to give the Browns some love. Kevin Stefanski, he's the head coach. Get to know that name. He's deserved it. Even if they lose out and they finish 7-9, that would have been a pretty decent year for his first year coaching the Browns. I don't think he does that. Good for him. He deserves some love.
Jake, I don't know if you can hear me again yet. You can.
I can. Yes.
Woo! So when you went to Kevin Stefanski, that made my choice pretty easy. I'm going with a bro of the night.
Ooh.
I'm going to Ed Stefanski.
Yes.
Who is the Pistons president of basketball operations. I don't know if he's the one that makes all the decisions. Otherwise, their GM is Troy Weaver. But once we're getting Stefanski's in the mix,
yeah,
you go with another Stefanski. And I just have no idea what the Pistons are doing.
Yeah.
They spent $85 million to just have the Nuggets backup front court with Mason Plumlee and Jeremy Grant. They signed Jahlil Okafor also. They drafted Isaiah Stewart 16. They're just doing like the exact opposite of what every other team's doing, and not in a way that's like, oh, what do they know that we don't? It's no, these are bad moves to be doing all of them. So I just don't get it at all. Drafting Killian Hayes was a good move because you know me, I love Killian Hayes.
You do,
but
love them.
that was good. They also have Sadiq Bey, who is another guy that's like kind of doesn't fit with those other moves they did once free agency started. He can do other stuff, so it's not as big a problem. But just what are they doing? They're not like good now, and these aren't like rebuilding moves, but they aren't going for it moves. It's not like building a culture. At least the Knicks, you know exactly what they're doing, and I hate to call the Knicks like a model organization right now because that's not true.
No,
but they're definitively doing better than the Pistons in the offseason.
Go, if you're a sports fan, go take the 2 minutes to go look at the Detroit Pistons' current depth chart.
And like they still have Blake Griffin there.
Derrick Rose and Killian Hayes, DeLone Wright and Sly Mihaluk. Sekou Doumbouya playing the small forward with Sadiq Bey backing it up. Blake Griffin, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, Isaiah Stewart, Jahlil Okafor. I have no idea. That is one of the oddest, worst rosters I think we've seen assembled in a little bit.
It's crazy. Like the league has become so guard oriented, and they just are deciding not to have any guards. And it's not like they have a whole lot of big men that like do guard stuff, and you like trick yourself into like some weird stuff. Like, yeah, Blake Griffin can you trust him to dribble the ball responsibly, but like I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, that's an ugly team. I love the Stefanski theme. A good Stefanski and a bad Stefanski. Would love to know if there's any relationship there. And hey, how about a little Jake story time, which I know the deep dive Wake and Jakers really like. When I went to college, CCSU Blue Devils, class of 2011, join the Facebook group before I go. You're adding people. You're seeing who's hot, who's not. Something that stole the show was that there was a pair of twins. I think they were the Szymanski sisters. And just like a pair of blonde twins entering college. So all the guys were Safransky. So every guy was like, yo, have you seen them, dude? Have you seen them? And neither of them really liked me. I think they're both like married and with kids and stuff now. So shout out.
Checks out.
Didn't think we were going to get there today, but I'm glad we did. Great bros of the night.
According to Google, Ed is the father of Kevin. So
really?
Apparently.
Do we just have a father-son bro of the night? No way.
Kevin Stefanski, who will take over in Cleveland, according to multiple reports, is the son of Ed Stefanski, currently senior advisor to the owner for the Detroit Pistons and Sixers general manager from 2007 to 2011.
Look at that. Wow. Wake and Jake in the morning. BBD, great stuff. Great stuff. We'll wrap it up for the Wake and Jake Bakers before we send you on your way. So much on the Jomboy Media Network today, by the way. We're doing Talking Yanks, talking baseball, talking Knicks has been ripping lately. We got some what we've been listening to, Pinstripe Strong, talking Giants, and BBD. Once everybody watches all of those today, we'll give them permission to go watch Monday Night Football, Rams-Bucks.
Yeah. Monday Night Football, Rams-Bucks. Free agency's still going. I think Morning came out today, which I forgot to include down below. I keep forgetting about it with the new format and stuff, but it's good stuff.
It's great stuff. Go check that out. Go check out Moanin'.
I think there's a breakdown coming in a few minutes if it's not already yet. Based on what I was overhearing.
If Jared Goff scores 28 fantasy points tonight, he'll be my favorite person ever. Fake the algorithm.